Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. On your screen you will see pieces of this tissue paper collage material that I had done a while back, and I cut it into strips and arranged them on my paper. Now this paper is 15 by 22 inches, and the opening here is 12 by 14, which corresponds to the 12 by 14 gel plate underneath. So what I'm going to do is collage this material on the paper first and do a reverse collage. So I'm going to glue this first and then print on top of it and see what the result is going to be. So it's going to be an experiment. I have done it before, but not with these colors. I will be concentrating on shades of red. This is cadmium red light. This is rose madder. It's a very beautiful color. And this is primary red. So I will go ahead and use my matte Mod Podge. Now this is where the bib comes in very handy. It really defines the space where the gel plate will print on. In other words, it defines the printing area. I don't know if this will register on camera, but this is a very dark red combined with Mars black. So it's a very deep color, and I hope to contrast it with some lighter, brighter colors. Okay. So I will air dry this first. And come back in a few minutes. Okay, here we are at step 2. I'm going to ink my gel plate with a mix of cadmium red light and some primary red. And some rose madder. Okay, I think I squirted too much. Sometimes it's hard to control these. Okay. And as usual, I'm going to create these different zones of color, trying not to over mix. And I'm not exerting any pressure on the brayer. I'm letting the brayer glide with its own weight, and it doesn't weigh that much. Okay. Let me try some textures here. This turned out to be quite a successful tool. I like the end results. Now before I lay on my paper, I cut some strips of copy paper and I will just lay them at random. This is to contrast with the vertical strokes of the collage. It might create some interesting effects. Okay. So here is the first layer collage with the dark black and red. Okay, I really don't have an idea of the result, so this is exciting. Very cool. Check this out. So the layer of red and cadmium red light kind of tones down the black. and makes it into some kind of like a warm brown color. Cool. Now this will make a very good ghost print. Okay, now in order to pick this up, I'm going to use a lighter color. I'll experiment with this Naples yellow-green. And some green gold. I'm pressing very hard because I want to pick up the remaining ghost print. Oh, I think this is a great transfer. It looks like a lithograph. Check this out. And I love the shine on it. Okay, I think I'm going to stop and let these dry and see what the next step will be. Okay, here we are at the next segment of this video. Now, I had a question from a viewer about how to uncurl the paper once it starts curling up. Now, this is dry completely, but it's still slightly curved. Now, I used to do this when I worked in an art supply store. We would ship paper. Now, you can do this very carefully, very gently. We used to ship papers in tubes, and this is how you do it. I mean, actually, we had lots of sheets of paper. We called it interleaving. And this kind of forces the fibers of the paper to move in the opposite direction, so it lays flat. Okay, now I wouldn't recommend it to do that with a very valuable piece of artwork if you're not used to it, but for your practice pieces it's okay, you know, if it bothers you that it's curled up. So anyway, I will apply some collage to this to break up the monotony. Now, right now it looks like a forest, but these look like tree trunks. Now, it's okay for your artwork to look like something out of nature. That can't be helped sometimes, but I would rather have it be a little more ambiguous so it's open to interpretation rather than have something very literal. So I will gather my tissue paper scraps and figure out what I can do. So if you notice, I am contrasting vertical versus horizontal, just to give it some kind of balance. Now, since this tissue paper is semi-transparent, it still shows what's underneath. It doesn't hide what is underneath, and I like that. I guess I missed this part. I'm going to add some glue underneath. Yeah, that's better. Okay, here's a close-up. Now for a moment I was tempted to fill these in with some different colors, but I decided I think this image is more effective having a limited color palette. Just red, black, and white. This way it's more striking. So that's the first piece. Let me continue on to piece number 2. Okay, this is also dried, but it's slightly curled. So I will you start with a big curve. Don't make the tube too tight, and just carefully and slowly you're forcing the fibers of the paper to go the other way. Okay. And then as a finishing touch, if you want to make this completely flat, you place this underneath some heavy weights, but make sure you cover the image with some kind of protective tissue paper or wax paper. Now, as far as placement of elements, I like to put the elements close to the edge. That's just a idiosyncrasy of mine. Now, I'm not so much worried that the tissue will cover the nice details here, because once this is mounted, the tissue paper becomes semi-transparent. So once I apply the glue, now this glue is mixed with water, kind of like 1 part water to 4 parts glue. And what's underneath will show up, so it doesn't look like I covered the details. Okay, I think it's more effective being simple like this. And in this case, I do like the shine. There you have it. It's a short video showing you how to combine collage and a gel print. So thank you for watching and for subscribing. And please check out artwhisperer88.com. And the sales of the pieces will help to keep this channel going. Thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.